ladies and gents, there's Low Elo, and then there's this. We have the true Low Elo Legend experience. I've seen many comments over the last few months where people said, you know what, like, the other games don't even feel like Low Elo anymore. Is 800 Elo really low? Those guys have to be really good. Well, here we have 280 Elo versus 220 Elo, and they both are playing as the Portuguese. The new and improved Portuguese, FYI, main bonus that they have now, that they didn't have before, was they received some wood when they're on berries. So that's actually kind of nice. It's something we'll talk about more in Low Elo than maybe even High Elo, though High Elo players have been taking advantage of it. Because people at this Elo really like to make that mill early. So that's going to be a nice little benefit. We've got Mark Trem 69. I forget which is which here because we only had 30 seconds to look at the data, and I have the memory of a goldfish. But I think it was Mark that had 15 wins and 50 losses. And I think Redux has played more games, but it's like 22 wins and like 70 losses or something. So to get down to this Elo, you have to be pretty consistent and also lose some games. That happens on the way down. Anyways, they've both gone for the Portuguese. And we'll see what that means. Now, normally I would associate Portuguese with lower Elo because of the feitoria. These players don't really have the largest focus on economy. And getting to the Imperial Age and building a feitoria is really appealing to them because the feitoria brings you in resources and you don't have to really focus on it. But also, I say that every time, and the Imperial Age is so far away from where they're at right now, and very frequently it doesn't even go that late. So be curious to see if it's more of like a build-up of bases here where, yes, it's war, but no one really fights, and they're just on separate areas of the map. It feels like games of this Elo, you kind of forget that there's an enemy out there for, an hour. And there are exceptions to that, of course, but Red just like casually scouting. I think this is auto-scout already. Red's like, game's too hard. I'm not going to manually do that. Just let that bad boy scout for me. And Blue has moved over to the berries. So Blue has 2 villagers chopping the straggler trees. And then these villagers are bringing in food and then also bringing in wood. I'm curious to see what people think, both here on the stream but also on YouTube, about the new Portuguese bonus. I really like it, actually. So, my worry was that it was going to be like too insane, right? And that it would alter things too much. But I think it's allowed some creativity. And it's not like you can, it's not like it completely breaks the game. Which, there's been bonuses in the past where the bonus is really strong. And there's bonuses that exist, by the way, where they have really strong bonuses. Like, think of Mongol Hunt. Like, Mongol Hunt is a crazy bonus, and that's, like, kind of normal for us, so. And there might be some tweaks to it eventually, just because of Portuguese as a whole, and I think it can kind of, like, make it easier for people to be able to get to organ guns. And organ guns are definitely maybe a balance issue at the higher level. They're really hard to stop. But yeah, I kind of like the bonus. I've been enjoying it so far. Anyways, I'm very impressed with Red. Red right now, only 20. Oh, no, that's idle eco. But even still, 1 minute of TC idle time. And that's normally the big separator. If you're ever to say, T90, what makes a person this elo or that elo? Usually it's basics of the economy. Like, are you taking your sheep? Are you taking your boars? Are you, making farms? But also, are you producing villagers all the time? And we're going to have some big questions to answer with these guys because they're going to have so much wood. Like, we've got 9 chopping wood over here. And then we've got 7 chopping wood over here. But we also have wood income from the berries. So, lots of wood. And Redux is bringing in this rhino. And Redux is going to take that food and enjoy it. T90, but a trickle of something as you gather a resource is a bit meh. Well, tell that to the devs about polls as well, right? Like, trickling as you collect a resource is something that's been in the game for a bit now. Like, my first instinct when I saw the bonus was, I'm like, okay, it feels kind of random. And let's be honest, it is. Like, it doesn't suit the Portuguese identity, really. But, it did feel like Portuguese are at the bottom of the barrel with win rates on lands maps. It felt like they needed something more that would help them in those situations. Can we appreciate that both players are auto-scouting right now? Just super relaxed. I hope everyone out there watching is having a nice, relaxing evening, afternoon, potentially morning. But yeah, both players auto-scouting. Speaking of changes to the game and all that, I remember when auto-scout came out. And what gave me the perspective that others didn't have at that time, granted, I wasn't initially as big a fan of auto-scout as I am now. But I quickly realized how nice it is for players to be able to do that, because scouting is just one more complicated thing in this game. And so watching Low Elo Legends has helped. Man, this is a bit random, but I was searching the other day to find the bracket for Titans League Silver, but I was too lazy to go in my Discord messages and I couldn't find it. So I just Googled. It was like T90 Titans Challenge or something. And it defaulted, my Google results defaulted to a bunch of Reddit threads. And it was like a 3-year-old Reddit thread of like, I think it was 4 years maybe. I forget exactly how long I've been doing Low Elo, but it was a post on Reddit that I'd never read before. So I was reading it 3 years after the fact about people talking about Low Elo Legends, because back then people were like, he's bashing noobs, man. Some people were saying that was the whole point of the series. Granted, I wasn't as good at it back then as I am now. I think I've gained a lot of perspective and learned a lot about how players play, right, at lower elos, or like been reminded of how players play or played the game, I guess. Like this, for example. I used to do this stuff all the time. You don't see farms around the mill that frequently. Normally, you're seeing a lot more farming around the town center. But anywho, you know, I guess like where my brain has gone as we see an auto scout go underneath the town center and we have no reaction from red, is it's been really cool to like learn about players and how they prefer to play the game and these little tidbits over the years with Low Elo Legends. And I feel like I'm still always learning. Like I bet you I could predict what a lot of elos do these days. Like it's gotten to that point because I've seen enough games. But Low Elo Legends isn't meant to to bash players. Obviously we laugh every now and then, like people make mistakes, right? But it's meant to enjoy the game in a different way. All right, so that was a nice little tangent. We have red in feudal age at 1230. Red has 1,400 wood and has barely taken berries. Is red going to have 2,000 wood when red makes it to castle age? That's the question. No farms for red, but red did take a rhino. Red took both rhinos, actually. And then blue has gone for tons of farms, but didn't take a single rhino. Blue's like, don't have time for that. Lost a villager to a rhino once. Don't want to deal with that again. And blue also hasn't even taken many sheep, right? Like, there's 2 goats over here that weren't taken, and then there's 2 goats here as well. So I'm trying to do the math on this. I think that's 1,200 food that blue could have taken, and instead blue has just opted for farms. In fact, we have blue going for the wood upgrade, and also going for wheelbarrow, and also going for the farm upgrade. Obviously, the majority of these farms, if not all of them, were placed before horse collar, so that will really only benefit blue later on. I like to pretend they're taking the bushes as wood. Yeah, it's like they're taking the wood from the bush. Right? Like, there is wood involved in a bush. It's not just like the berries. But yeah, it's interesting little bonus. Oh, wow. Okay. So red has placed farms. But I'm thinking, so we have 7 farms and we have 8 on berries. I'm wondering what the plan is here. Some players will have commanded them to do that after they finish a bush. But red is just going to diversify a little bit, I guess. I'll be casting Low Elo for the next hour or 2, and then we'll be moving on to casting other things. Namely, I want to cast the Huang series. Huang played his round 3, which is a best of 5 in Titans League, so I think we'll be casting that. And then next Tuesday is going to be more of like my standard LEL day, where I'll probably mix in Low Elo. I've been really enjoying mixing in Low Elo from time to time. And the feedback's been really good on it too. It's always good when I'm really enjoying something and then people enjoy the mix-up. As opposed to like me really enjoying something, but then a lot of people don't enjoy it, which happens from time to time. Resources collected. Wow, that's so close, man. Wow, dude. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure you want this much wood. Okay? That's a problem. And normally, you know, as you get better at this game, you want to somehow learn to put that wood into farms to get your food count up. But still. Also, look at the idle TC time. Look at the Vil count. These guys have lost like 75% of their games to get here. What a match. It's so close, man. I love it. Like, I think it's fair that you could probably say that team game matchmaking is a bit hard to do and the devs maybe haven't done as good a job at that, whatever. Some people like to say those things. I don't even think it's that bad, but anyways, the whole point is team games, you might maybe have a conversation. But at the end of the day, 1v1 matchmaking is really good in this game. And I see it every time I cast Lel. Now, here's the big thing for all you people that are scared of ranked. I don't know what your elo is, but if you feel like you're this skill, right? You're unfortunately, and this is the one really bad thing about ranked, you're going to have to lose some games to get down here, right? To get down to the depths where you may or may not belong. But it is going to be a more balanced experience if you actually play ranked, as opposed to being scared of ranked, not trying to call people out. I just know this is common, okay? As opposed to the people that are scared of ranked, even if they're way better than this, they never touch a ranked game because it freaks them out, or they're worried that, you know, playing ranked is going to lead to being imbalanced. And then just joining an online lobby browser game where there's no way to balance it, right? Elo actually does produce a more balanced experience over time. And the big thing to remember, now again, if you don't want to play this game online, feel free to just chill out. I'm not trying to tell you to change your life, but remember, an even matchmaking experience typically is going to be a spot where you're at best going to win 50 or so % of your games. So in my case, I'm at like 54%, right? And I think if you go into ranked with that perspective, it makes things a little bit more chill for you. I think some people don't like losing, and they don't just simply think like, oh yeah, if I play ranked, losing's normal. And then they get all stressed out because they lose a couple games, and then they freak out. So anyways, my spiel's over. We have Man-at-Arms now. And the Man-at-Arms are on the way from red, which was not what I was expecting. And now I'm really concerned for blue. Blue dropped a tower here in front of the base. And blue's mining more stone on the back. And red is now going to make archers as well. Whoa. Big moves here from red. I got to 400 elo and started winning about 50% of my games. So I'm up to 800-ish. Oh, nice. 400 to 800 is a nice jump. But I imagine the more you play, the better you got, right? I like how there's just goats here that have been left alone. This red goat stayed over here, but for some reason, blue brought this goat underneath the TC. It's interesting. By the way, blue could click up to Castle Age. I imagine this is low enough where if villagers were to be killed, that blue might even call it quits here. I don't think blue's much of a rush player. Blue just likes to relax. We've had 0 kills this game. You will notice, though, that as red was producing the military, red did forget to produce villagers for a while there. But, obviously, that's a lot of army. 5 Man-at-Arms and also what will be 9 archers. That could do some horrible, horrible things to blue's economy here. All right. Yeah, dude, when I go to the lobby browser, it's so funny to see some of the titles. Noobs only, and then the host is 1500. Yeah. The worst is like, because I remember those lobby browser days. The worst is when it says like noobs only, and then the host has a friend who's higher elo. And so you'll be like, hey, host, that guy's not noob. And he'll be like, if you don't like it, leave. Or he'll like kick you or something. Like, I remember that stuff back in the day. I imagine this still happens because people are people. But I'm not playing in those, you know, in that world anymore, so I don't really know. Red, Red, why are you making an archer range that blocks in your villagers, man? Redux Blade has now sentenced these 5 villagers to being stuck here forever. Really wanted more army and just maybe didn't think about that. That's a lesson learned. Meanwhile, we have supplies and basically any other technology for blue because blue wants to research everything. So All the blacksmith upgrades are coming in. All the eco upgrades are coming in. Good stuff from blue. I like to see the techs. I wonder if red is ever going to realize those villagers are even stuck. There's a very good chance that red will not realize those villagers are stuck. There's also a very good chance that red will not get any blacksmith upgrades. So blue's kind of getting everything, even the Castle Age stone mining tech right now. And that's just the type of player blue is. Blue likes to relax. Blue likes to get techs. Blue doesn't like to fight. Blue hasn't made a single military unit. Maybe red's normally like that, and red's just like, oh, I'm sick of losing. Ah, let's go. Red's going to drop a town center here. I like how red's army is just kind of massing on the hill. It's a really good position to sit, right? If your opponent's going to attack you, they're going to run past that. Oh, boy. Guys, can you hear it? Do you hear the... Do you hear the dinging? I think in the distance, if you listen really closely, you can hear the sound of a bell. Ah, man, what blue wouldn't do for a castle right now? Like, blue is probably just... Oh, here I am, playing another game of Age. Thank God this guy hasn't attacked me yet. Man, this is really nice. I've got my pet rhino over here that I'm friends with. Couple houses here for blue now. Red's sitting on the gold. Red also shot an ostrich, which I imagine was a misclick. Villager's still trapped, by the way. This is not red sending the scout in to check things, by the way. Maybe it is, actually. It looks like auto scout movement. But auto scout would probably go here first. Blue is really close to building a castle. And now, yeah, I think red might have actually been manually controlling that. No loom for blue, so things are going to be horrible here. And red scout is now attacking a villager after attacking the farm. And, oh god. No. Blue, please run. Please run away. Please save the villagers. You know, as much as we talk about Town Bell, honestly, there it is. I was going to say, maybe you should just click it at this elo to save as many villagers as possible. All right, so you now have the stone for a castle here, Blue. You've lost a lot of vills. Blue obviously got very scared here and started to make some archers and also started to make some spearmen. Doesn't really seem to have a lot of knowledge on counters or anything. Meanwhile, red's like just staring at this army. And this is a feudal age army with no upgrades, by the way. So it's a really interesting dynamic right now because at least blue's going to have fletching and armor. I don't know what blue's army micro is going to be like. Blue could make a couple knights too. And red's just like, no, you will not farm. I will take out these farms, which isn't a bad strategy, by the way. Higher level players do that stuff all the time. Really good unit control from red as well. He's just staying away from the town center. I don't think blue's going to... Oh, wow, okay. Blue's making a knight. I was just going to say, I don't think blue's going to think about this, but canceling some villagers... Oh, God. The town bell's been unrung. It's been re-rung now. Actually, it hasn't been. They've just been moved. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, blue. It's falling apart. Let's see if blue can stabilize here. I think there's some people out there that will relate to blue. Attacking is cheating. This isn't war, okay? They were supposed to wait till the late game. I like how Blue Scout is staying as far away from the trouble as possible, right? Like, Blue Scout heard about this. He's been called home by his family, and he's like, no, you never had faith in me anyways. So he's in the very north of the map. Red does have... Blue would have more archers, but Blue doesn't have the pop space, which is a big issue for Blue. And I think Blue's realized that at least and is making more houses. As for red, red is in Castle Age, but doesn't have a single freaking upgrade on the units. We're talking no longsword upgrade. We're also talking no fletching. Oh god, is red gonna build a one villager castle? Well, it might be a multi-villager castle. Red has the more efficient economy right now, and blue's gonna drop a castle here. No loom. Oh, there's going to be a castle there from red, but red noticed this. Oh, God. Well, if the archers were here, I actually think this could be okay for blue. The town bell's now been rung. There is hope, guys. There is hope. The things that happen at low elo do not happen at any other elo. Red wants to finish this castle, right? But what Red's not realizing is that all the army's dying now to the town center fire. And this gives blue a chance back in. Now, more villagers are running forward. But, I mean, even this knight could deny this castle. Blue, this is your chance. You got it, buddy. Go. Go. Run. Go. Come on. Oh, he doesn't see the castle. Oh, shoot. But he will soon. Red does have loom. Red's castle. Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think it will go up, but it's going to be so very close. If the knight were here, obviously, it would not go up. But the way the archers were firing on that one villager for too long tells me it's going to go up. And now, blue is unsure on how to handle this. And now... now the villagers are just going to attack the castle. Okay. All right. Well, he's probably like, well, I hope he doesn't get that murder holes tech. Because if he gets that murder holes tech, this is going to be a problem. Are we going to see murder holes? Does Red know about it? Because that's kind of important right now. Red clicked the rhino. I knew that rhino was on blue's side. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, boy. The panic is real right now. And blue's castle is actually going to come in so clutch here because... well, I guess these archers are going to slowly kill the knight. Is he sending more? And he's also sending goats? Send it all. Send everything you've got. Red is here too. Red's like, I need another castle. This is a problem. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Well, this is really smart from Red. It's certainly smarter than what blue's trying to do. If only the rhino would actually fight back. I think the goat just died there. Villagers attacking castles. Loom! Blue hasn't had loom. I forgot. Oh, God. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone a little bit differently here for blue. And red, to be fair. But this went from 0 to 100 really freaking quick. And the game ends there. Blue taps out. Surprise, surprise. I love blue, though. I really want to see more blue games because I feel a little bad about the guy getting rushed. It felt like he would actually have been the better player in the long run because, like, if red wouldn't have rushed at that time, blue probably would have had a defensive castle and then really good eco. But, you know, attacking can make a difference. Castle drops are really hard to know. Castle drops are really difficult to know how to stop. And I think the big thing for red was actually numbers. Not upgrades, but red produced a lot of army. It was like 8 man-at-arms and like 15 archers. A lot of players going with a lot less than that. So, well played to red. You don't see, you know, that many villagers die underneath the castle every single day. So that was entertaining as far as that's concerned. We look at the resources collected. Blue actually collected more resources. Keep in mind that half of blue's economy was idled for the last 10 minutes of this game. So, yeah, it was looking good before the rush came in. And, yeah, their hearts were probably rushing like crazy. I mean, in that situation, though, after this castle goes up, I know it's really hard to be able to relax. But you have wood and you have gold. It would actually make a lot of sense. Pull your villagers, right? Don't like let them sit under there. And just make some rams. Right? And if your castles are this close, you kind of saw what happened. The castle fire was defending blue for a bit. It has 7 kills. So I think you just make some rams there. And if you make some rams, you should be in a good spot.